In the grand tapestry of a nation's history, few artifacts tell a story as intimately as its coins. These small, durable discs of metal have passed through countless hands, witnessing the quiet exchanges of the marketplace and the grand ambitions of kings. The story of Swedish coinage is a particularly fascinating journey, a chronicle that begins in the misty age of Vikings, with their Hacksilver and foreign treasures. It stretches forward through time, reflecting the nation's shifting fortunes, from a regional power built on copper to a modern, technologically advanced society. This long, continuous narrative, pressed into silver, copper, and gold, offers us a unique window into the economic, political, and cultural evolution of Sweden, from its earliest days to the present moment. Long before Sweden had a king who could mint his own coins, the concept of money was already well established. During the Viking Age, wealth was measured in silver. This was not the neat, round coinage we use today, but a more raw, practical system. Hacksilver, fragments of jewelry. Hacksilver, bars. Hacksilver, foreign coins chopped into pieces. The value of a payment was determined not by a number stamped on a coin, but by its precise weight. A merchant would place the silver pieces on a small, portable set of scales to ensure a fair transaction. Foreign coins were prized for their silver content, not for political authority. Vast hoards discovered across Sweden reveal a stunning international network. Silver dirhams from the Abbasid Caliphate, bearing elegant Arabic script, coins from the Byzantine Empire, pennies from Anglo-Saxon England, pennies from the German states. These foreign coins were often cut and bent to meet a specific weight, their original authority disregarded in favor of raw silver value. This system was functional, flexible, and perfectly suited to long-distance trade. The very first coins minted on what is now Swedish soil appeared around the year 995 under King Olaf Skotkonung. These were silver pennies, created in the town of Sigtuna, a bustling trading hub. The design was heavily influenced by the English pennies of King Ethelred the Unready. The coins were thin, made of silver. The 17th century saw Sweden emerge as a major European power. Its influence built upon military might crucially, its vast mineral wealth. The nation was home to the Great Copper Mountain in Falun, one of the world's most important sources of copper. At the same time, the silver mines were becoming depleted. The costs of prolonged wars, such as the 30 Years' War, placed immense strain on the royal treasury. This created a peculiar economic problem. Sweden had an abundance of copper, but a severe shortage of silver. The solution was one of monetary history's most extraordinary chapters: plate money, plot mint. Beginning in 1644, the government authorized massive rectangular plates of pure copper as currency. These were not coins in the conventional sense, they were heavy slabs. The largest denomination, the 10-daler plate, weighed 19.7 kilo, about 44 pounds. A person standing next to a 10-daler plate highlights its immense size. Each corner of the plate was stamped with a circular seal bearing the monarch's mark, and the date, a fifth stamp in the center, declared its value in silver dalers. This guaranteed the plate's value, linking abundant copper to the silver standard. It was a bold, cumbersome solution to a national crisis. As the age of plate money drew to a close in the latter half of the 18th century, Sweden moved towards a more conventional and manageable monetary system. The currency that came to define this period was the Riksdaler. Riksdaler, named from the German Reichsdaler, a large silver coin used widely across Europe. The adoption of the Riksdaler marked a significant step towards standardizing Sweden's currency and aligning it more closely with international trade practices. The system, however, was notoriously complex. Different types of dalers, skilling, öre, often circulating at fluctuating exchange rates, which could be confusing for ordinary people and merchants alike. The most prominent feature was almost always the portrait of the reigning monarch, a clear and powerful symbol of state authority. King Gustav III, an enlightened despot who ruled from 1771 to 1792, features prominently on the coins of this era, his profile rendered with a new level of artistry and precision. The reverse side of the coin typically displayed the Swedish coat of arms, 3 crowns, Tre Kronor, Lion of the House of Bjälbo. A major monetary reform was undertaken in 1776 under Gustav III to simplify the chaotic currency system. This reform established the riksdaler as the main unit of account, with a fixed subdivision of 48 skillings. The most significant monetary transformation in modern Swedish history occurred in 1873. Sweden and Denmark made a landmark decision to abandon their old silver-based currencies and form the Scandinavian Monetary Union. Norway joined 2 years later in 1875. They replaced the complex riksdaler and its Danish and Norwegian counterparts with a new unified currency, the krona. The name itself meaning crown. This new currency was based on the gold standard, with 1 krona legally defined as 1/2,480 of a kilogram of pure gold. The creation of the monetary union was driven by industrialization and booming international trade. A standardized currency, interchangeable at par across the 3 nations, was essential for commerce. Under the terms, coins from any member country were legal tender in all of them. A Swedish merchant could travel to Copenhagen or Oslo and use Swedish krona coins to make purchases as if at home. The new krona was decimal, 1 krona divided into 100 öre. The coins themselves were standardized in size, weight, and composition. The highest denominations: 20 kronor, 10 kronor, 5 kronor. Medium value coins in silver: 2 kronor, 1 krona, 50, 25, 10 öre. Bronze for the smallest denominations: 5, 2, 1 öre, with King Oscar II and the national coat of arms. The 20th century was a period of immense upheaval. Sweden's coinage reflected these tumultuous times. The collapse of the Scandinavian Monetary Union during World War I marked the first major shift. The gold standard was abandoned. Precious metal content became a casualty of economic necessity. The gold kroner disappeared from circulation. Silver became a strategic material. Silver was removed from most circulating coins during WWI and WYTDs, replaced with copper-nickel, replaced with bronze. Some low-value air coins were minted from iron during metal shortages. Here's a side-by-side comparison: a World War II-era iron coin and a modern copper-nickel 1 krona. Sweden stabilized into a prosperous, neutral welfare state, and coinage stabilized. Coin portraits were regularly updated as a timeline. Portrait: King Gustav V. Portrait: King Gustav VI, Adolf. Portrait: King Carl XVI, Gustav. Designs moved to cleaner, more stylized portraits. Reverse designs kept core symbols: the 3 crowns, the full national coat of arms. Gradual demonetization of smaller denominations due to inflation. 1 and 2 öre withdrawn in the 1970s, 5 öre and 25 öre later, and 50 öre in 2010. 1 krona becomes the smallest unit. We now find ourselves in an era where the very concept of physical money is being challenged. Sweden stands at the forefront of this global trend, rapidly transforming into one of the world's most cashless societies. In this new landscape, the role of coins has been dramatically redefined. The most recent major change to Swedish coinage occurred between 2015 and 2016, when an entirely new series of coins was introduced. This reform was driven by several factors, including the need to make the coins smaller, lighter, and more cost-effective to produce. The new coins also incorporated modern security features and were made from new nickel-free alloys to address metal allergies. The design of the current series of coins is a blend of tradition and modernity. The 1 krona and 5 krona coins continue the long-standing tradition of featuring the portrait of the reigning monarch, King Carl XVI Gustav. However, the 2 krona coin, which was reintroduced into circulation after a long absence, features a more abstract design. The highest denomination coin, the 10 krona, retains its classic design from the late 20th century, a familiar and trusted part of the currency. The new coins are notably smaller and lighter than their predecessors, with the gold-colored 10 krona and the silver-colored 5 krona being easily distinguishable by sight and touch, a design choice aimed at assisting the visually impaired. Despite this recent modernization, the daily use of coins is in steep decline. So that's where things stand. The piggy bank, once a childhood staple, is losing its relevance in a world where allowances are transferred digitally. While coins are still legal tender, their practical role in the economy is shrinking with each passing year. The story of Swedish coinage, stretching back over a millennium, may be entering its final chapter. From the raw Hacksilver of the Vikings to the colossal copper plates and the standardized gold-backed krona, each coin has been a tangible piece of its time. They have been witnesses to history, held in the hands of farmers, merchants, soldiers, and kings. Today, as they jingle less frequently in the pockets of the Swedish people, they are transitioning from being everyday tools of commerce to becoming artifacts of a bygone era. They remain powerful symbols of national identity and a physical archive of Sweden's long and fascinating journey, but their future lies more in the hands of collectors and historians than in the tills of shopkeepers. By following this metallic thread, we can understand not just the history of a currency, but the history of a people and their enduring relationship with the tangible concept of value. It is a quiet drama, yet one that speaks volumes about the resilience and character of a nation in the northern reaches of Europe. This essay has traced that remarkable path, step by step, through the centuries.